Hey, what's up guys? John here. On October 4th, America had a national emergency alert. Well, did you know Russia had a national emergency alert at the same exact time, the same exact day?
Nationwide emergency alert drill yesterday. Every phone, television and radio sounding a 1 minute long alarm.
What are the odds of this? And then just a couple days later, Israel and Hamas have this huge problem that unfolds.
Israel has formally declared war after that unprecedented multi-pronged terror attack from Hamas.
Many people right now are taking a position on if they agree with Israel or they agree with Hamas. But at the end of the day, I don't take a position with Israel or Hamas or Russia or Ukraine or any of this divide and conquer type of dialogue that's being pushed on the people. Because at the end of the day, the only people that actually win are the big governments that are pushing all this. The people are getting killed. You have women and children being hurt, resources and wealth being sucked away from families where they've worked for their entire lives to accumulate something. It's being taken away for the greater good. I don't agree with any of this. I think it's a complete disaster, and I think that we need to look way past this to see what's going to happen next so we can plan in advance. And I'm going to break it down for you clearly in this video with verifiable facts as to where I see this going. Please hit the like button. YouTube's going to share this content to educate the people about what's really going on. And if you want to fix your credit, we'd love to help you at my company, GreatCreditFast.com. That's GreatCreditFast.com. If you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, any negative item impacting your credit score, go to GreatCreditFast.com. We'd love to help you, love to give you a free strategy session. Take a look at this. So this all happened October 4th. Then this is all coming out now. This big conversation of, oh no, a big cyber attack could be coming for America. No, they've been talking about a cyber attack for the last 2 years. In fact, Klaus Schwab, the head of World Economic Forum, said that a cyber attack would be far greater of an impact and a threat to America than the situation in 2020 ever was.
Pay insufficient attention to the frightening scenario of a comprehensive cyber attack, which would bring to a complete halt to the power supply, transportation, hospital services, our society as a whole. The COVID-19 crisis would be seen in this respect as a small disturbance in comparison to a major cyber attack.
It would bring hospital systems to a grinding halt, banking institutions to a grinding halt, shipping, transportation, distribution, everything would just stop in its tracks because of a cyber attack. Well, Wall Street Journal, 42 minutes ago, U.S. no major cyber attacks on Israel-Gaza conflict yet, right? When you said, look, hackers join in on this situation, this is what I think could be a really, really big problem that could be coming. And if you look at how, I mean, this is like every few hours, 15 hours, this is all that's happening. If you just go search last 24 hours, you will probably see 10 pages full, 5 pages full. And then even if you hit the 5th page, there's probably more pages. No, 5 pages. So let's look at this for a second. So U.S. no major cyber attack, hackers join, Israel targeted by hackers group. What went wrong? Questions emerge. Israel orders a total siege. 9 Americans confirmed dead. So you start to look at this situation, a growing cyber war in the widening. I think this could be a situation in which we walk into. And it's not an opinion. I mean, what are the odds that Klaus Schwab, the head of the World Economic Forum, he has a case study, an exercise called Cyber Polygon, which this situation, they game plan, they role play with world leaders and some of the biggest tech titans get together and role play on how they would survive and how they could navigate a cyber attack. You can't make this stuff up. Klaus, he even comes on here and says the promotion, Professor Klaus Schwab, the promotion of cybersecurity and technologies is of crucial importance for the world today. The pandemic has changed the world, and one of the most striking transformations has been the complete digitalization of all aspects of our lives. I think Cyber Polygon training is one of the great initiatives to help fight crime in the digital space and increase global cyber resilience. Well, this situation is pretty interesting here. So when you have Putin, right? Putin, and you see the same exact logo. And then you have, Xi Jinping and Biden, same logo right in the background, right? Then you have this situation. I mean, you can see that America is obviously not in power here. You can tell how submissive this relationship is, right? Then you can see You have Zelensky right here, same logo in the background. Then Prime Minister, Israel, same logo in the background, right? They're all in the club. We're not. You think that they're going to put themselves in a situation, they're going to all be in the same club, and they're going to be taking from each other? Or do you think that the wealth is just going to continue to climb north, right? That's what I think is going to happen. I think the wealth is just going to continue to climb north. And with that wealth, it takes away options. When people have money, when they have resources, they have flexibility, they have options, they can choose what they want to do. When people are desperate, they don't have options, and so they do what they have to do. And when they have to do things, then it puts them in a situation of desperation where, divide, conquer. Or another way to look at this is a problem, reaction, solution, right? There's a big problem. Oh no, we have to react. Here's the new solution. It's not as good, but it's just going to be temporary. And then, okay, this is now the new normal. But if you look at what's going on right now with businesses, business bankruptcies are rising briskly, right? So you have a situation where business bankruptcies are rising, interest rates are going through the roof. They're going absolutely crazy right now, going from essentially 3% to 8% for a 30-year fixed rate mortgage if you have perfect credit. I mean, you have $1.5 trillion in commercial real estate loans that has to get refinanced next year. You have $2 trillion in corporate debt that has to get refinanced next year. The economy is getting ready to be pushed off cliff's edge. And this is the perfect time for some big disaster to happen. Like the perfect time. Worst U.S. bond sell-off since 1787 marks the end of free money era. U.S., right? Think about this. For those asking, it took the U.S. until March of 1975 to accumulate $500 billion in debt. It added more than that in the last 18 days, right? They're just depleting our resources. And now we're sending military assistance on the way to Israel. We're sending military assistance, or we're sending financial resources and other resources to Ukraine. And now they're talking about putting price caps on oil when we only have 17 days left in our reserves. So you can see what's happening to this country. You can see what's happening around the world. We're all walking into a massive, massive catastrophe. That's what's happening. I mean, oil right now, it's damn near $90 a barrel. And when in October 22nd of last year, Biden came out saying that they will only refill our reserves if oil hits between $67 and $72 a barrel, right? It has to hit inside that threshold. Well, it did multiple times, and they didn't refill a single barrel. So they did not restock any reserves. Now they're taking it, or Johnny Yellen is suggesting, taking it from rather $62 to $72 a barrel to now a floor of $60 after it spiked dramatically. So what are they saying? They're saying that, we're going one way. This is a one-way trip. This is a dead end. And we're going to run right into a wall here. Oil prices jumped 4%, right? They're saying oil prices could hit $150 a barrel. This came out 2 weeks ago. They were saying that. So now it's starting to look at that actually could be possible. But look at where mortgage interest rates are if you have perfect credit. So let's say you have an 800 credit score. It's 8.066%. If you have bad credit, let's say a 620, you're almost 9%. Almost 9% for a 30-year fixed rate loan. 30-year fixed rate loan, meaning if you were to buy a $500,000 home, you put 6% down, your payments are probably somewhere around $4,300 a month. Who can afford that? Who can afford it? Nobody. People aren't going to be able to afford it. So because of this, what's ultimately going to happen here? A couple scenarios. 2024 is going to happen. You're going to have this $2 trillion in corporate debt and this $1.5 trillion in commercial real estate debt that has to get refinanced next year. You're going to have a situation where a lot more people are going to start defaulting on bills as student loans became due for 40 plus million Americans October 1st. And as we walk into the winter months, utility bills are going to continue to climb, and people are going to depend more on their credit cards for travel and for gifts. So what's ultimately going to happen? Come next year, more and more and more defaults are going to be happening. So we're walking into a scenario where not many people are going to be able to refinance their homes, not going to be able to buy homes, and it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. And we're still going to consider to send another $100 billion to Ukraine. So when people say, "Oh, we're going to have a soft landing," I don't see it. Russia and China have been teaming up to reduce reliance on the dollar. Here's how it's going, right? And they're comparing this situation. I'm not even going to say this. You can read it yourself. They're comparing this situation, and they're saying that, all in one day, initial death toll is like about 900 people. But I have a big question here. Is this going to be a scenario in which is going to force migration? Remember, they all said that we're going to have a lot of migration from now until the next 6 years, we're going to have a lot of migration. Are we going to see a situation where we're going to see a lot of people moving around because of all this conflict that's happening everywhere? People are going to need to move to different locations, right? Could we see it? I think we could. I think this is in fact what is going to happen. We're going to start to see some crazy things in this country, and with it is going to come lending risk is going to get so tight over the next year or two. And when we've been in an economy and a world to where everyone had such easy access to liquidity, business owners, real estate investors, everyone was just addicted to this easy money. Well, when things start to get tough, which they're starting to get tough now, there's no denying it at this point, you're going to start to see it's going to become nearly impossible for the average borrower to get access to money, for the average business to get access to money. So the last thing you want to do is be average from a credit standpoint when we're walking into this scenario. Another scenario here is this digital ID situation. Could we see a situation here where digital IDs are going to be used as a way to solve this problem with cyber attacks and with all these different problems and all this? I think so. I really do think it's possible. And if you look over the last week, the last couple weeks, you're starting to see a lot of conversation about, South American city of 15 million to launch blockchain-based digital identification services. California rolls out digital driver's license and phones. Buenos Aires issues blockchain-based digital ID, all like within a week, a month, a week. This is what's going to happen. The next couple of years, we're walking into a scenario that you're going to look back and it's going to feel like a different world. But it's going to happen every single week. It's just going to get crazier and crazier and crazier. But I think the next big black swan event is going to be this. It's going to be a potential cyber attack. It's going to be this situation where, look at this red alert, Israel, like this situation is going to get crazy. What do you think about it? Drop below. We'll have a conversation about it. If you need help fixing your credit, we'd love to help you at my company, GreatCreditFast.com. That's GreatCreditFast.com. I'll catch you guys in the next video.